part of the America's Kiwanis Club History Project. I'm proud to be here today on April 4th, 2006, talking to two of our longest-serving members and probably our two most valuable members, Charles S. Hogg, former president and former district governor of Kiwanis, and Charlie Smith, a former president and a former lieutenant governor of this district. Asking Mr. Hogg, let's begin by telling us, when did you join Kiwanis?
July the 17th, 1936.
So it's been about 70 years, hasn't it?
70 years.
Now, when you joined, did you join right away, or did something happen to make you have second thoughts?
Yes, I was approached where I worked, and I had two bosses, and they came to me and wanted to know about did I want to, they'd like for me to join Kiwanis. And I was 20 years old, and they were 35. I told them, no, thank you, I didn't agree I would. But the partner out there that I was working through, he came to me, and he had some control of my job. So I wasn't married at that time, so I turned him down. I mean, I did accept him when he came to me. And that was in 1936. We were meeting at the old courthouse, right where the Citizen Bank is now. Of the Sumter County organizations, they fed us every Friday. We met on Friday, and we had to pay 35 cents for the meal.
How much were dues back then?
The dues were $4.50 a month, and most of it we couldn't pay that. We just didn't have it. But I joined at that time and told him I would, and two, we were having a meeting, and a fellow by the name of O.L. Evans, he was a superannuated preacher here, and he came to the club to plead to the club that day for some help. He was the scoutmaster of 3 troops, and I waited till after the meeting was over, because I never was even a scout. I lived way out in the country, and I couldn't come to the meeting and didn't have a way. So I told him that I was single, and that I would help him, but he'd have to teach me. And he said, well, he'll teach you some scouting.
Charlie, any members that you recall fondly from when you joined?
Yes, Fred Shepard was president, and let's see some of the others that were available at that time. He was real active, and we had parties out at his house in the country, and also had some dove shoots out there during those days. And Ellen Laster came along shortly thereafter when I first came in the club.
How has the club changed over the years?
Well, the younger generation doesn't have the parties that we used to have with Jim Buckhannon and some of the James Buckhannon and some of the rest of them, but we're doing pretty well.
Mr. Charlie Hogg, you mentioned that, of course, as everybody knows, you were district governor back in 1973. Tell us just what you remember about that year and maybe some of the accomplishments that you had as governor.
Well, one of the things you required to do is travel the state of Georgia in a year, and that's what I had to do and tried to do, and enjoyed doing it, meeting so many, because at that time we had about 200 clubs in the state of Georgia, and we ranked pretty well international with our accomplishments. That one thing we had was the pet parade and the band. Now we have the baseball.
Mr. Charlie Smith, just one last thing I want to ask you. Are you pleased with the young folks that are coming into Kiwanis, even though we don't have as many parties as what you're used to?
Yes, it looks to be promising. We can train them along the way and be good Kiwanians.
Well, thank you both, gentlemen. This has been a pleasure for me, and this will be a great part of our America's Kiwanis History Project.